Mike, one of the things that Coach Odom came in and said after the game almost immediately was like that was an average. I can't remember if you said average or adequate tackling at best. When you reviewed, you probably saw it in real time too. But when you looked further, what did you see there? Were there common denominators that were leading to some of those problems, and how do you fix them?
Yeah, we got a lot of work to do. But it's simple things like taking an extra step instead of reaching and diving for tackles. It was great to see our pursuit to the ball because, when we did miss one or two or three, we were able to get the guy down, sometimes still in the backfield. But, we got to work on taking an extra step. And all it is us continuing to stress tackling in our individual drills in practice and just continue to stress pursuit. So, we got to get better at tackling.
The impact that you guys were getting from the second string, it wasn't just like depth as far as guys you could put out there, but it was guys who were coming in immediately and like making plays, whether it was Crew did it, I think Breon did it, like maybe first snap got a TFL, something like that. Like,
Yeah.
Did you expect that sort of impact from this going down to a second string level?
Yes. We kind of have a standard here, and if you meet the standard, you're going to play in the game. We don't necessarily look at guys like, you're a starter, you're the backup, so this means this means that. It's if you can play football the right way, the way we like it, the way we want you to play, and you're a disciplined football player, you're going to get out there and play. And if so, you take advantage of your opportunities, you're going to make plays. And there was a lot of guys that did that. I mean, even Alex Sanford and Sanders Ellis did that as well. So, you just get to see what those guys can do in games, and you can expand their role more.
We talked all preseason camp about obviously the quarterback competition that was going on and only looking at it in terms of the offense. Any specific ways that you see it having been beneficial for the defense to have had a deep quarterback room and kind of spreading those reps around?
I mean, as it helps for everybody. You get to see different styles of quarterback, different guys with different skill sets. Some that can run really well, and some that can run and throw really well. And as you try and be a play caller in my shoes, it's okay. How are we going to call things against a running quarterback? How are you going to call things against a guy who's you got to get to in the pocket, or you get different scenarios from different quarterbacks, and so the team gets it. We get it as coaches. We get to evaluate it, so it helps a lot.
Mike, you talk about some of the tackles you didn't make, but you seem to have some pretty sure-handed tacklers at the safety positions. How valuable is that as a defense, knowing that's your last line of defense, that those guys are going to get the job done?
Yeah, it's extremely valuable to know. We trust in those guys a lot to not only be the last line of defense, but also come down the box and fit in the box. So when we ask you to do that, you better have that skill set. So I think our safeties are willing tacklers. I think that's the biggest part about it. You have to be willing and want to go hit somebody. And they want to, and they enjoy it, and I enjoy watching it. So.
Was it good for you to see a mobile, athletic quarterback like that in your first game?
Yeah, I mean we're going to see all different kinds of quarterbacks. Got another mobile one coming up. Any sort of challenge is good for us right now. We need everything we can get. We need all the work we can get, and every week is going to be a challenge, no matter who it is and what it is. And we got to step up to it. So the first one being a mobile quarterback, yeah, it helps.
When you have guys who, coming off of a shutout, aren't happy with their performance, that's what you dream of as coaches, right? That they're going to evaluate every little detail and find out where to get better game to game.
Yeah, you just hope that you've instilled in the room some standards in a way that they expect to carry themselves. You've heard me say it. I've said it a lot, but I want them to take control of things, and when they do, they hold themselves to a certain standard. And so it's not me. I don't have to come in here on whatever Sunday, Monday, and have to point out mistakes while they're throwing a party. They know what mistakes they made, and they want to learn how to fix them. And so it's things you see when they start working together. They start taking ownership of it all, and that's all it is.
Mike, psychologically, just to put up that zero, what that means to the team?
I think it can develop trust. Trust in, not only schematically what we do, but trust in, hey, these guys have been asking me to work and do things a certain way, and I've done it, and then to come out the other side and be successful for 1 week. I guess it develops a little bit of trust in what you're doing from everybody around. From there, I think we have big goals, and they weren't. A 0 in the first week is awesome. I'm not going to shy away from it, but it doesn't end there. So that's we try to preach to them that this is the start.
Did you have very many loafs?
They were very minimal, very, very, very minimal. That is one thing. If I came away from the game and I was proud of the guys for the way that they ran, and they played hard. There was no question they played hard.
What do you think the singular thing is the defense did the best on Saturday?
That run to the football. I think meeting one of the year, I told them I wanted to be really good on field goal block because that is solely an effort-based play. And I wanted to be really good at running to the football. And, the field goal block, they obviously missed 2 kicks. You can say there's a lot of reasons for it. But if you really watch the first one that clanked off the post, if the guy would have kicked it straight, there was a big old paw of C.J. Madden waiting for it. So there were things that those guys up front, T.J. Lindsey, Chops, Harkless, and C.J. Madden were doing to affect those kicks as well. So, like I said, that is an effort play. I really wanted to be good. I want to be extremely good at field goal block, and we're off to a decent start.
The secondary seems like it's a cut above. One guy we've never really talked much about is Taj Rael, and he seems to be a real active guy back there. Can you sort of talk about him, what he did Saturday, and just what he brings to the table?
Yeah, he's a football player. Got a knack for the football, and he knows ball. He loves football. He sits in here all day watching film. When you have a guy at the field safety, there's a lot of space on the field that guy has to cover. When he's a football guy and loves football as much as Taj, that's why you see him popping up as much as you do. And it looks like he's shot out of a cannon half the time. But it's because of how much he works and studies the game of football, and he just loves it.
I'm just curious about the way you view things when a sack gets missed. Do you view that as a negative play, or do you view that as a positive play since you blew up what they wanted to do?
Well, it depends where the ball ended up. There was one we ran past this weekend, and they got a first down, so that is not a positive play. But it just, did it work or not is really it. Where'd the ball end up? Did the guy get tackled in the backfield? Good blitz. We may have ran it wrong, but good blitz. A guy got out. We may have had 2 guys free at the quarterback, but if he got out, bad blitz. So that's how.